Hi, I'm Steve Brown of Shake It Up, the podcast. I suffer from essential tremor. Let me paint a little picture for you. Imagine slowly being robbed of everything that you love. Your hobbies, your ability to do your job properly, the ability to enjoy food. It progresses to the point where you will find yourself hiding from people. You isolate yourself. If I'm painting a pretty bleak picture, it's because it is a bleak disorder. So what exactly is essential tremor? Well, it is a tremor of the hands, usually. It can occur in one hand or both. Some reports I have read say that if it starts in one hand, it will progress to the other. I don't know the truth of that. I know that in my case, it was much worse in my right hand than my left. We were able to prove that, although my left hand was involved. There's no question about it. And in my case, it got worse. Caffeine didn't really affect it, although I was told it would. What did affect it were stress. Anything stressful, it got terrible. And that could be the stress of being at work. It can be, you're in an argument with your wife. Not that we ever argue. Some people also have a head tremor. And it can be this kind or it can be this kind. But those people do definitely have a tremor. And before my surgery, and we'll get to that in a minute, my neurologist could manipulate me and have me stand in postures where my head would shake. And I noticed occasionally I would have a little bit of a head shake. Once again, all I could look forward to is that progressing. It's a thief. It robs you. Essential tremor is probably the most common neurological disorder in the United States. It exists elsewhere, but I only have numbers for the United States. It is estimated that between 4 and 10 million people suffer varying degrees of essential tremor. And probably that many spouses, relatives, loved ones, acquaintances, they're all in it too. Because they're all feeling sorry for you as you are feeling sorry for yourself. And at times angry. I'm not going to shy away from that. It is a nasty, nasty thing. One of my hopes with this upcoming podcast is that we shed a light on some of these problems. And that's where you come in. I need your input. I need you to contact me. And one of the things that I have said since early on in my crusade is that essential tremor is a thief. It robs you so slowly, you don't at times know what's going on. It's unfortunate. So why am I here today? Well, I did my homework, and while I could find plenty of things on YouTube and other places on the web that discussed essential tremor, what I couldn't find was anything from a layperson's perspective. And that's what I hope to bring to this. And it's not just going to be my podcast. I want you there too. I want to interview people. These do not need to be high profile people. If I can get them, fine. They make great interviews. And I've got an upcoming episode where you're going to meet one of those higher profile individuals, and she's a delight to talk with. But I want people who, if you read on the web, you see stories of people and the same questions keep cropping up because people are scared. They're given these options. They don't know what to do. I was very fortunate. I went to an essential tremor facility that was recommended by the IETF, the International Essential Tremor Foundation, and was able to hook up with a neurologist that was very familiar with essential tremor. And things, for me, that was probably my smartest move ever. What I want to bring to this is a layperson's perspective. I am not a diagnostician, and so I can't tell you if you do or do not have essential tremor, if you do or do not have Parkinson's. That isn't going to happen. I can, however, recommend the right people to talk with, and that I plan to do. So, you're probably asking yourself, if you've stuck with it this long, why aren't my hands shaking? Well, I was very fortunate. I qualified for something called deep brain stimulation, or DBS surgery. And I do have to say that the first time the idea of this was brought up to me as not a cure, it's just to manage it. First time it was brought up, I said, drill holes in my head? Ain't no way that's going to happen. And I will confess, I said it probably a little less politely than that. But that's the fact. Yuck. Who wants to go through that? Well, the more I thought about it, and I came up with my own rationale for doing it, which was quite simply this. The only thing that scared me more than the DBS surgery was not having the DBS surgery. I did not want to go through the next 20 or 25 years, and yes, I'm being a little optimistic, having to contend with losing everything that I loved. I love photography, woodworking, just basically generally using my hands. And then all of a sudden one day, that's just taken away from me. So, Shake It Up, the podcast. I'm not here just to promote DBS surgery. If that's what you think, you're mistaken. I'm here to talk about all of it, treatment options for everybody. I just happen to be very fortunate that I fell into that class of people that qualified for it. Thanks for staying to the end. Once again, this is Shake It Up, the podcast. I'm Steve Brown, and I look forward to having you on the show.